Hello and welcome back. Today we've got something to take apart. It's still lockdown time. There's actually not a lot happening. I'm spending most of my time either working from home or printing 3D masks and stuff. But I do have this little amp here, and I really like this one. It's for my TV, and on this one the VFD at the front is just broken. It doesn't display anything at all. The rest of the amp is still working, and I really like the amp, and I want to fix it. But I went ahead and I looked for some schematics or anything, but I couldn't find anything about it. It is an Onkyo model TX-SR607. It's a pretty good little surround amplifier. It's quite old. It can't do 3D, it can't do 4K. What it can do is it does have a pretty good deinterlacer, and it can turn composite into HDMI, and it can do interlacing along the way, and it does that really well. But nowadays you don't really need it. I still have an Xbox 360 hooked up to this, and that's kind of what makes it so special. Also, it's not that old and it hasn't been used that much, and I like it the way it is. I don't want to get a new one. So I thought we just start digging into it and see if we can find anything that's wrong with it. And I've already removed the screws at the back, because that would have required me to crawl over this thing. And yeah, well, that's what it looks like inside. It's not really that dirty. I like the build. We've got a power supply, we've got output distribution. The bottom of the amplifier appears to be the amplifier itself. We do have some signal switching and processing up here. Apparently some specialized chips. We've got a DSP with the DTS logo on it. Apparently we've got a silicon image chip. Yeah, it's a really nice thing. So what I'm looking for right now is the VFD failed, and the vacuum fluorescent display usually has a power supply, and these power supplies need to supply voltage and current all the time, because most of the time the display is running its heater, and that is what takes the most current. So what I would be looking for, if just the VFD isn't working, is either a broken transistor or a broken resistor. That would be the first things that I will look for, because I've noticed a slight smell from this device. Not bad at all, but slight. But right now I have no idea where to go look for this. So let's try to figure out what we have here. We've got the front panel. The front panel has a very large ribbon cable going over to this board here, which I think is the main CPU. We have the video or HDMI switcher up here. Apparently down here we have signal switching for the input lines. At least that's what it looks like. So I suppose we start digging in from the top and work our way down, because that circuitry must either be somewhere in the vicinity of the main computer in here, or on the main board as part of the power supply. And I think we should be able to see what's broken, because I could at least smell something not being right on here, and usually that's a good indicator for being able to find something that is at least discolored, if not completely broken. And going by your nose is a pretty good thing in these, well, old type of electronics. It's you can discern from the smell what's broken. So, for example, if it smells like almond or peanut butter, it's probably an electrolytic capacitor that's blown its hat. If it smells really bitter and burns in your eyes and you get loads of white smoke, those are very often these old VHA capacitors that are foil technology. If it smells like wood, then you probably have something very close to a PCB that gets hot and you get a discolored PCB. That is also really easy to find. Just look for the black spot. What else do we have? If it smells like ozone and if it makes a funny noise, then you probably have something arcing over. And quite often that is hard to find, but the smell and the sound often gives it away. Then if you get some brownish smoke and it smells a mix of wood and plastic, that is quite often a resistor going bad. We do have some goo up here holding this up, keeping it from vibrating, which is good. That is really, really good. I need some snips. I apologize for the noise in the background. I'm currently printing face shields. A lot of people are right now, and some are doing this better than others. And yeah, I just saw the video by Linus Tech Tips, who got 30 Prusa printers. Wow, 30 Prusa printers to make 300 masks or 300 shields per day. Wow. I wonder how long he's going to keep up doing that. I've got 5 printers running right now, and it's a job that fills the entire day just watching them. So we've got a standoff here. Let's see what we find under here. We have another board which does seem to have some power electronics on it. At least we do have some cooling fins. Those might be something to look for. And we do have some rather largish resistors on here, but they don't really look bad at all. What have we got? But this is the only cable coming from the front panel as I see it. It doesn't have another connection to the power supply, so let's keep looking over here. What have we got? So this here is a very small. This here is a very small resistor. So let's get the new MDS 8207 and let's have a look what we get here. What? This can't be right. It's wrong now. I'm going to use something else if this doesn't work. It's not that I don't have enough multimeters here. So we have a very small 2 ohm resistor down here. That is open circuit. What? Okay, let's continue with these others if they work. We have another small. Yeah, this one here is okay. This one here is not. Could it be so simple? So, let's see if I can get you zoomed in. So this, can't even see this. Sorry for the focus going all mad here. This one appears to be open circuit. And it's the first one that I measured. So, excuse me, we need another resistor. Something. So this here is red, silver? Red, gold? I suppose it would be about 2 ohms. It should be. Let's see if we can get some resistors. Oh, we need something. Apologies, my camera just turned itself off, and I think I lost about 2 or 3 minutes of footage. So what you didn't see me do was, first of all, I took the original resistor and I cut it out of from the board, and the color coding is red gold or red orange gold. I'm not sure. The resistor is open circuit, so it's not doing anything. I did go looking for 2.2 ohm resistors, so this could be 2.2 ohm or 2.3 ohm, and I did find, ta-da, some crudely marked 2.2 ohm metal film resistors, and I checked them. They are 2.2 ohms. I then had a look at this board here, and it turns out it is actually held in place with 9 screws. The radio tuner that is on here needs to be pulled back, so to get this out I would have to remove the whole back plate, and I would probably have to remove the processor board as well. So I decided to go another route, and I just left the small cut pieces on the resistor that was already in here, and I soldered to those. This is not beautiful, but it'll do the job, and it's going to save me at least an hour of repairing this. I still can't believe that this was actually the first resistor that I measured. Usually this does not happen, be assured. The only reason why I was kind of sure that this would be the place I would need to look for is because it's connected to the front board, and it does appear to be the only board which has dedicated what is it called? Heat sinks with some sort of either voltage regulators or current regulators, and this was just the easiest one to get to. So what I'm now going to do is I am going to measure the other resistors that are in here as well as I can, and this may take a moment, but not very long, and then we can see if maybe there are more resistors or more parts broken here, but I think we did find one. Let's see if this works. Yeah. Come on. There's actually, these are actually coated, so they're coated so they don't conduct at the wire, which is very unusual. So the whole thing here is very good from a point of component quality. So I really have to scratch these a little bit in order to get some measurement result. Oh, come on. Is this one broken too? No, I'm getting something. So this is not getting a good measurement, but this is definitely not open. So no more power resistors under here. So I think we're going to give it a test. I'm going to bend this upwards so it can dissipate a little bit more heat without burning the PCB. And just going to, well, we can actually plug this in place. Suppose this really fixed it, and it doesn't matter if this is in place here. And I actually see one other power resistor here, and I'm going to try and measure that one from the back really quickly. And that one is okay too. So are we? Okay. Let's get you set up so you can see what's happening at the display. See if this comes alive if we plug it in. I think there's nothing touching right now. And yeah, very faint. But we do have display. Actually, need to turn the light down a bit. So here we go. Now you can see it a lot better. It's not that bad, and it appears to work fine. It's just not very bright. But it never was that bright, so, and I don't know if you can change the brightness level of the display, but it works, and that's the important thing, because you can't get to all of the settings in the menu that you can get to using the display. So it does have an on-screen menu, but you won't be seeing everything that the display is going to tell you. So I really wanted that to work. So I turned the amplifier back off, and right after turning it off I made sure that everything is discharged and that the power cord was disconnected, and I reached in there and I touched the resistor just to find out if it was hot, and it wasn't. It's completely cool. Since the resistor that I put in does have a higher rating than the one that I took out, it's either fine with having that current, or the one that was in there is just prone to failing. Both could be, you never know. Fortunately, this amplifier is not from the era of failing capacitors, which is a good thing, because quite a lot of amplifiers and technology in general was prone to failing capacitors for quite some time. amplifiers and stuff were part of that, but this is not one of them. So what I was kind of I was surprised to see that the power board that has the power control for the front panel apparently also has the tuner module for the radio. Now, I don't know what type of a power supply they have for the display at the front, but I wouldn't actually put a power supply so close to the radio receiver unless I knew that both of them were equipped with very good noise suppression. But looking at the design of this amplifier in general, it's really well built. It's really a nice device, and you can see that a lot of thought went into the design and the PCBs and the wiring, just the way like you can see all the signals from this HDMI port which goes to the auxiliary at the front, they're all perfectly in parallel with their differential signals and grounding in the middle. It's really beautiful. It's the way you're supposed to do it. So whomever did this knew what he was doing. So it is a lot better built than some of the cheap stuff that you get today. So yeah, let's put the lid back on, and then I can just put it back and get it back to work. Cool. So these are the finishing touches of putting the lid back on. Well, like I said, I had to put the sides on first, and this means crawling over the enclosure, and I don't think you want to watch me doing that. I am going to add all of the screws at the back now, and once the screws at the back are tightened down all the way, I am going to fasten down the screws at the sides. You want to do those last because you don't want to have any strain on the casing, because that would be prone to vibration as you listen to music. And if everything is in its very relaxed state, then it is much less likely to rattle or to have vibrations or to creak or crack when it's warming up. And these things do get warm in operation. So here we go. One little Onkyo receiver amplifier, all fixed and done. I thought this would take longer than this, and also I didn't think that my battery was going to die, but I don't know. It's just, it appears to be my today. Everything I touch today appears to blow up or break or need service. Yeah, thank you very much for watching, and as always, stay healthy, stay safe, stay home. See you next time.